I don't know who has or hasn't already seen the news, but apparently Kristy Scott has filed for divorce because allegedly Desmond has cheated. I just saw this article on TMZ and they said that Kristy has officially filed for divorce. She got the court documents. She listed the fact that Desmond had cheated on her and said that it had completely wiped out any reasonable chance of reconciliation. Whether you follow them or not, if you're on TikTok, it's likely you've seen their videos. And if you don't know who they are, but you're like, why do they look so familiar? This might help you out because anytime she'd post a video trying to shock him with whatever it was she was doing, this would always be his reaction. What makes the situation even more sad, besides the fact that they were married, they have 2 kids, and their kids are really young, but they met at 14 years old. I will say this, going through a divorce when you have kids is incredibly hard, especially when you've been together for that long. Having to go through this publicly, I can only imagine how she's feeling, but I hope she's aware that once she gets through the pain, because she will get through the pain, she is going to be more than okay. At the end of the day, there's only one loser in this situation in more ways than one, and I don't even think I need to say who that is.
I really want to know what really fries my pickle about the Kristy and Desmond divorce is the fact that I've been going through comments all day of my own video, other people's video, and the fact that y'all are saying that they think that is with a man is crazy. It's crazy to me. I would have, well, I don't think he's gay. 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 I don't think. But I need to know in the comments why y'all think that man like men. Is it the yell? Is it the scream that he be doing? I need to know what kind of gives y'all that vibe. It's because I'm not going to say my own opinions, but I just kind of want to know why y'all got that vibe of him cheating with a man. I want to know. The thing that gets me is this. Y'all may not say it when everybody be doing good, but when niggas is doing bad, y'all sure do share your opinions a lot quicker. I never heard nobody say that man was gay until he did what he did to Kristy.
So it turns out that there were signs of trouble between Desmond and Kristy Scott. So first off, not only did we all notice that impatient look in Desmond's eyes, you could literally see it in almost every video of theirs for the past few months. He had already fallen out of love with her. And after last night, Desmond finally confirmed what actually happened after Kristy filed for divorce for infidelity, saying that what Desmond actually did went beyond a reasonable option for reconciliation. This is where it gets more worser. You could see the changes between these two. Desmond was literally always looking down at his phone, and Kristy was always trying to prank him. You could see that she was always happy and bubbly. Meanwhile, Desmond was literally in the background, not wanting to be a part of any of it. You go to his page, he barely posts her. But like at least every 2 out of 3 videos on her page include him. And even more insaner, every time you see Desmond in the background, as she calls for his attention, he looks irritated. And even more insaner, in 2024, when you look at their videos together, they look so much more happier. And a lot of people are saying that this is a result of posting your entire life online, and that Desmond was fed up with everything needing to be a prank. But a lot of people are also saying that Kristy was always trying to do too much. Who do you think is the reason for the divorce? Would you ever take back a cheater?
Proof that Desmond was Kristy's biggest hater.
Yes, but why you got that on your head? You're cooking up your new... That's the worst joke I've ever heard in my life.
It's a spaghetti bag. And, okay, first off...
You can't even go sit nowhere like that.
What do you mean, babe? We can stand at the bar. You can sit and I can stand at the bar.
I'm standing next to you with that on.
Why? You're not proud?
Why would I be?
I'm the showstopper. He loves it. What is it? What did you say? Oh, you're hanging up on me. Okay, first off, what do you think?
He honestly looked so completely done with her.
Hi you all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Kola, and on today's trending topic, you guys will love this one. Because when I saw Desmond and Kristy Scott filed for divorce, I had to sit back for a moment and just wonder why. I didn't expect them, not them to. Why would it really happen to those good couples? What really happened? And for years, Desmond and Kristy were that power couple on social media. They had good trips, they were doing content together, that is their pranks, and it was so sweet until time had to come and Kristy filed for a divorce. And it was sad. They made love look so easy. They built their newly found home, and it was all good. It was all cute until that a power couple is normal. And it's so sad because after Kristy filed for divorce, the internet is exploding and people are in full detective mode as to what really happened and what transpired for them to file for divorce. And I'm wondering what really happened for what really transpired to lead to this sudden divorce. And Kristy says it was due to Desmond's infidelity, and we really want to know more. And that's why I've compiled these videos for you guys. And then let's see how people are reacting to this news of Kristy and Desmond's divorce. And then we're going to come back with a full commentary at the end of the video. And guys, if you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, I'll gladly appreciate if you guys push me to 1,000 subscribers. Let's get into it.
Perfect. Hold up.
You about to make me throw up. Why are you mixing them?
That's the best way to eat it. Okay. Hold on. Shake neckline, but then you could shut everyone out.
Chris, I'm about to shut you out.
Okay, I have a theory, but don't knock me if I'm wrong. I might be right, but don't knock me if I'm wrong, please. This is just my understanding and the conclusion that I've drawn from all of this, right? So I've been a main supporter of Desmond and Kristy for the longest I've known, right? For a period of time, right? And I love their relationship. I love who they've become, and I respect their union, right? I hold their union to a certain level where it's like, I want mine to be like that type of shit, right? But it's not idolizing. I don't idolize them, but it's like they exemplify to me what a true union was, because they seemed happy. Everybody thought they was happy. Cool, whatever, right? So here's my theory. I strongly believe that Desmond lied to Kristy. And this is why I strongly believe that Desmond lied to Kristy, right? Desmond, in his statement, right, because I've seen a lot of videos and I've seen his statement and I've also seen the divorce docs, right? In his statement, he stated that he withdrew, right, from the relationship, basically mentally. He, over a period of time, wasn't feeling happy in the relationship anymore and he wanted out, basically what he said. But Kristy seemed that she was adamant as though she wanted the relationship to work or try to make the relationship work. But Desmond was also adamant that he wanted out and it was unrepairable, right? And through all of that, right, the time that they separated, right, I believe that Desmond came up with the idea of telling Kristy that he cheated. But here's where that came into play, right? Desmond and Kristy, they're Jehovah's Witnesses. And under the faith of a Jehovah's Witness, a divorce is frowned upon, right? And the only loophole out of that is if someone was unfaithful, cheated, right? Infidelity, basically, right? So I believe strongly that Desmond came up with the idea of telling Kristy that he cheated. And it's now up to Kristy to decide what she does with that information, whether she stay, work through it, or leave. But I also strongly believe that Kristy knew that Desmond was lying. But because the extent to which Desmond went to get out of the union, right? This might be false. I don't know. This is just the conclusion that I've drawn from that. It's not a conclusion. This is just what I've gained to understand because it's a theory, right? So I believe that Kristy knows Desmond is lying, but she also realizes that this man wants out. And you don't want to be with someone that's miserable because it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. So the only thing you can do from this is get a divorce, right? Because the man is completely unhappy. He doesn't want to be with you anymore. Let him go. Y'all can figure it out the rest later on, but let him go. Maybe him getting space, he'll realize that, yo, like, this is where he belongs, and then he'll gradually come back. Whatever it is, that's their problem. That's their situation. But this is what I'm drawing from the outside looking in, right? So I strongly believe that he lied to Kristy. And Kristy realized, and she went and filed for divorce, right? And of course, Desmond is is usually the laid back person in the union, and Kristy is the most out there, right? And someone had to take the fall. I don't want to put it like that, but I think he realized the outcome of saying that he cheated, but he was willing to accept that and move forward with that, right? And just so he can protect his peace and get what he wanted out of that, basically. So that's my theory of what happened, right? Because I don't believe that Desmond cheated. I really don't believe that Desmond cheated. I don't think he cheated, right? Because I saw a lot of comments that say, even though he's a golden retriever, he's still a dog. I don't think that man cheated, right? Because me personally, I'm the type of person, like, I will go to any extent to protect my peace. I will never cheat, right? But I will go to any extent to protect my peace. So if I have to lie to you and tell you I did something that I know deep down I did not do, I will tell you that so you can leave me the hell alone. I'm that type of person. And maybe that's why I'm thinking like that, you know? Maybe that's why I've drawn that conclusion. But I strongly believe that man didn't cheat, right? So, yeah, that's just my theory, all right?
Now, I know a lot of people might not agree with this, which is totally fine. But I think demonizing Desmond for his actions without full context of the situation is a bit premature. That's my opinion. I might get canceled, but hear me out. I think that we have romanticized these social media relationships like they're really real. Like, what they post is genuinely what their relationship is, like 24/7. And I think that is unnatural and unrealistic. The reality is that they're going to post on social media content that gets views and keeps your engagement. Now, mind you, that's Kristy's account. It's always been Kristy's account. It's not Desmond and Kristy's account. I've never seen on her social media any of her social media usernames being Desmond and Kristy. It's always been Kristy. And from the outside looking in, it just seemed like, it's her world. She invited him into it. And she blew up, and she's in a lot of limelight, and he's commented in some of his videos how she's traveling and she's busy. That could have a serious impact on a relationship, and especially if the woman is making more money than the man. I'm not justifying cheating by any means. It's never justifiable, but I'm just saying that I think there could potentially be more context than what a lot of you guys are presuming. And like, how are we making these conclusions about Desmond and Kristy and their relationship when most of us only know them based off what they post on social media? I see a lot of comments like saying that Kristy's perfect and funny and goofy and pretty. She posts what you guys watch. Seriously, her unique niche of like the crazy weird stuff that she does, it has retention. It gets the engagement that she needs in order for her to get paid. An internet personality is just that. It's an internet personality, which means that that's her personality on the internet. Y'all don't know this woman. Start saying like, well, this is what she is. This is who she is. That's who she shows you. That's who you view on social media. And for a man, not justifying cheating or any negative behavior or disrespectful behavior towards any woman in any relationship, but I'm just saying, as a black man under a whole lot of pressure in general, whose relationship is in the like public light, you might be feeling a little bit emasculated watching your significant other get all this attention, blow up, make money, maybe more than you, and you might not know how to vocalize that. And we don't know what was vocalized. We don't know what conversations went on in their home. There's more context to the situation, and I think that that's necessary for us to take in before we demonize people in situations that we actually have very little information on. I think Kristy's amazing. Body's T, face don't decline. However, you don't actually know her. You don't know what type of wife she was. You don't know what type of mother she is. Stop romanticizing these social media relationships like they're showing you they're 24/7. They're showing you what they want you to see when they're behind the camera. Off camera, you don't get exposure to that unless you know them on a personal level. They showed you what they wanted you to see. They played to your perception. And now you're heartbroken because You thought it was genuine. It's content.
Not too long ago, my homie asked me if me and my girl ever thought about doing couples content, and I immediately told him no. I don't believe in couples content. I don't believe in trying to be somebody's goal or whatever. I do think there are a couple couples who do couples content that is actually funny. I think they're called the Pools. To me, they are very funny. Their content isn't based around what they do for one another. It's them niggas doing skits while they're together and loving each other. I think that's funny. I think that's normal. Looking at couples like Kristy and the Desmond Scott situation and seeing their situation, I feel bad. Again, I think that I'm not a we, but I think that a lot of people only feel connected to this because y'all have watched their relationship online, which is the problem. I think, again, and after seeing his response, because you see a lot of people gave their opinion way before he gave his response. A lot of people saying, oh, how could you do this to a woman? Like, she looks like this. All that don't matter. All that does not matter, and I need y'all to understand it does not matter what a woman looks like. It does not matter, not saying how caring a woman is or whatever. If you are not my person, you are not my person. Things change, people transition, people grow apart, and that is just the reality. And like a lot of people had opinions and stuff, but it looked like he asked for a separation. The nigga asked to be separated from you. That's not no normal thing. Like, once somebody's telling you, hey, I want to be separated, that's what they mean. And what I think a lot of women fail to realize too, and as a man with sisters, as a man with female friends, I know that a lot of times when niggas ask to separate, women tend to try to hold on. Women will try to hold on because it's not their decision yet. Sometimes women will walk away, and I commend them for walking away. But I know a lot of times when it's the man's decision to end a relationship, women do not walk away or want to necessarily end it at that point. And so, again, like he said, he made some decisions during that period that sped up the divorce process or whatever. And I think this is what happens to a lot of people. A lot of niggas ask, yo, I'm done. I don't want to do this no more. And I see a lot of women say, no, let's just work it out. It is what it is. And then niggas go and do other stuff because it's like, I've asked you. I've asked you, can we stop this? And I'm not condoning this. I want y'all to understand I'm not condoning this, but let's just observe and analyze behavior. That's all we doing here. Not condoning, just observing and analyzing. Niggas will ask, can I walk away or can we be done with this? And women will say no. And then the nigga feels like, the only thing I can do now is cheat so you know I'm being serious. That's the only thing I can do now is to cheat so you know I'm serious. And again, it's not always the best decision. It's not the smartest decision at all. It's not something I'm condoning. But I think that's where a lot of niggas' heads go when they decide to walk out or at least cheat or whatever. I don't think everything just be as simple as we think it is. And it's just, oh, she's a beautiful woman, she's this and that. People have problems. You being a beautiful woman, you being a well-built man, you being put together does not mean you're a good man. You being a rich man does not mean you're a good man. So you being a beautiful woman, you being a well put together woman does not always mean you're a good person. And that doesn't even have to be the case for them or whatever. They got to a point in their relationship, it seems, from what he's saying and from what they were saying, where they just weren't a match for each other no more. And that could be that too. It doesn't have to be one has to be evil, one has to be good. It could just be, hey, y'all weren't a match for each other no more. Y'all can outgrow each other. And I think we need to be accepting of people when they outgrow us or people when they ask to separate. The same way niggas say, oh, I don't want that baby, and y'all be like, delete it. Because it makes sense, doesn't it? It doesn't make sense to carry a baby that a nigga don't want. Right? Unless you just want that baby or whatever. But again, in their situation, the nigga asks, can I walk away? And for whatever reason, they stayed. And that was the problem. Let people go so you can leave. And like, at least you are hurting, but you are not harmed. You are hurting, but you are not harmed.
A golden retriever is still a dog. Listen, I'm going to say the uncomfortable part that a lot of you and probably even Kristy doesn't want to hear. But I'm going to say it anyway, because you need to hear it. Kristy can easily divorce Desmond tomorrow, and she's going to be fine. She's going to get snatched up by another man real quick, okay? She's gorgeous. She's smart. She has a great personality. She's going to find another man, maybe even another man that's better than Desmond. Some actor or athlete or singer or rapper, somebody is going to snatch up Kristy. Maybe even a white billionaire. But here's the uncomfortable truth. He's going to cheat on her too. Years ago, one of my guy friends told me, and at the time I didn't want to believe him because I was such a lover girl. Okay. I believed in the fairy tales, I believed in the happy endings. I didn't want to believe what this man was telling me, but he told me something. And honestly, he's been proven right as I go through life over and over and over again throughout the years. He hasn't been proven wrong about this one thing that he told me when I was in my mid to late 20s. He said to me, Portia, every man will cheat at some point in their life. We're going to cheat. The only thing that's going to make us not cheat is if we cheat and lose everything as a result of our cheating. By lose everything, he was referring to not just his wife, not just his kids, not just his home, but maybe even his job. If his cheating resulted in him losing his job, if his cheating resulted in him possibly losing his freedom and going to jail because something horrific happened, he's referring to stuff like that. You lose everything because of your cheating. He said that's the only thing that's going to make a man think twice about cheating. It doesn't matter how happy they are. It doesn't matter how much you sacrifice for them. It doesn't matter how much of a good woman you are. It doesn't matter how long you two have been together. He's going to cheat no matter what. My guy friend told me the only way that a man is going to not cheat is if he loses everything he loves as a result of it. And then he has something to look back on the next time he goes to cheat. And he's like, ugh, the last time I did this, I lost everything I loved because of it. He has an actual action, an actual consequence to refer back to. And it happened to him personally. It can't be, oh, I saw it happen to my uncle, or I saw it happen to my dad, or I saw it happen to my brother. It can't be that. It has to actually happen to that man. And then he has something to refer back to. That's the only way. The only way they don't cheat. Now, my guy friend then went on to say, and you better make sure that he actually loves all these things that he lost. Because if he didn't love that woman, and he really hated having those kids, and the house he was in really wasn't all that he wanted, and the job he had, it was just a job, but it wasn't his dream job, he's not going to care, and he's going to cheat again. Now, mind you, my guy friend told me this right after telling me that he was cheating on his wife. I think the biggest mistake that a woman could ever make is thinking that a man is going to fulfill you. If you want fulfillment, go accomplish some goals. Set some goals for yourself, accomplish some goals, get a career, do something like that. That's the only thing that's truly going to fulfill you. By thinking that a man is going to give you unconditional love, that's a mistake. If you want unconditional love, have children or go get a dog. They're going to love you for life, unconditionally. As Shira7 says, and she's never been wrong, clearly, she's never been wrong. As she says, men are only meant for one thing and one thing only, and that's to be providers. That's it. They are a source of income. They are not the source of your happiness. They are not the source of your self-esteem. They are a source of income. I know for some men, that's going to hurt to hear. Sorry. But the truth be told, men love women who are mean to them. They love women that make it hard for them. They don't love the women that are easy for them. They don't love the women that don't make them chase and work for it. Men don't, however, love the woman that sticks by them, supports them, helps them accomplish their goals, gives them children, takes care of their home, cooks, cleans, loves them unconditionally. They don't love that woman. So all we have to go off of is historical data. And the historical data says that men don't want a woman that loves them unconditionally. They want a woman that knows that they are just a source of income and that will make them provide that source of income. You can give your whole life to a man, pour everything into him. I mean, look at Kristy. They've been together since they were 14 years old. They basically raised each other in a sense. He still cheated. And guess what? The next man gonna cheat too. And the next man after that gonna cheat too. So I'm sure right now, a lot of Kristy's friends, her family, women on this app, a lot of you are telling her, leave Desmond, leave him. That's good. Stand on business. I just don't want Kristy to leave this marriage thinking, I deserve better, therefore I'm going to get better. You might get better when it comes to looks. You might get better when it comes to money. You might get better when it comes to sex. Sure. When it comes to loyalty, you're not going to get better. They are all the same. I mean, unless Desmond cheated with a man, I just don't see it. I just don't see it being different.
And honestly, I think what's really hitting people is how unexpected it really feels. There was no messy build-up online and no public cheating, no obvious red flags. As we all saw Desmond, is that he looked like, is that good guy, and at least not the kind we could see. One day it's couple goals, and the next day it's court papers, and we're like, what really happened? Who is in the wrong in this relationship? And now here's where the internet is split. Some people are like, social media relationships are so fake, and others are like, no, these guys were so real, and real people just grow apart, and maybe they want to just be apart for a while. They have never been apart from each other since they were kids, and that is not maybe the reason. But people are like, did you see how she looked at him in that one clip from last year, or how Desmond behaves when they are recording those pranks, and he kind of looks like he's acting, like he's just being into it just for the show. And Kristy filing for divorce has really added another layer to the conversation. People are debating, was she unhappy for a long time, or was she choosing peace? But people also have those speculations of Desmond might have grown tired from the normal old pranks to just make their fans happy, and it wasn't more of making themselves happy, it was more of satisfying their fans, and maybe he grew tired of it, and because he was the one who really wanted the divorce first. And people are like, or he maybe have cheated with someone else, and they might have a kid on the way, and so people are just speculating a lot of things. And when your love story becomes content, do you ever get a space to struggle privately, because they air out everything, and sometimes it felt like they were forcing smiles on the camera to just make a show, make a scene for people, for engagement. And it's like, this is crazy. People are just speculating anything. They'll be like, Kristy hasn't had that ring since November last year. Kristy has not been wearing her ring. That is serious. Girl, where's your ring? What happened? Why didn't you tell us earlier? And it's so sad, because now we are seeing old videos, and now it starts making sense. And honestly, this whole thing is sparking a bigger discussion on how much pressure social media puts on in a relationship nowadays. And when your love story really becomes content, you don't have to hide anything to people, because now they are included in your lifestyle. They are part of your lifestyle. And at the end of the day, as entertaining as it is for the internet, this is still two real people ending a marriage, and that's normal. And that's not easy, no matter how rich people get or famous, or them being a perfect couple. So as we all know, Kristy really built up her career through social media and online. And people tend to feel like Desmond might have gotten jealous of how famous and how big Kristy has become. But I really want to hear from you all. Do you think social media couples are under pressure to stay together, even if they feel like their relationship has come to an end? Do they still have to stay together to satisfy their fans? Or do you think breakups like this prove that money and clout really don't save relationships at all? So let's talk in the comments. Tell me how you all feel, because this one is deeper than just a breakup. Tell me what you think transpired between these two powerful couple that is no longer a couple, but this also might be speculation, and they might be just chasing clout. And finally, credit goes to all the respective owners of the clips and content used in my video. Your thoughts and perspective made today's work possible, guys. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, let's push it to 1,000, guys. We can do it. And see you in the next one.